It began as one man's answer to Pride festivals. It ended up being about, well, several dozen people's answer to Pride festivals. That's about how many showed up to Cecil D. Andrus Park last Friday and Saturday in Boise for the first ever Hetero Awesomeness Festival. Dozens. Needless to say, the turnout was not so awesome. Although the organizer, that'd be Mark Fitzpatrick of Eagle, says that number was much higher than that. Well, having the anti-LGBTQ+ event fall flat may have been enough to get people's attention. What seemed to get a lot more attention was what was said in a podcast promoting the event. So we wanted to hear from Fitzpatrick why he believes this festival was a success and whether he agrees with the comments made during his podcast appearance from the grounds of the festival.
Overall impression of the weekend was big success. We did what we said we were going to do, which is provide a free event for people to come and celebrate traditional family values, gather together with kids. We had the kids zone set up. We had a stage set up with great music. We had some things to contend with for sure, one of which was some chilly and rainy weather on Friday that I think kept quite a few people away. And then some chilly weather on Saturday that was breezy. And then we also had the onslaught of nonstop attacks from the morally bankrupt, degenerate Pride community on anybody that mentioned that they were going to get involved with our event in the months leading up to it, which caused a lot of sponsors and people to say they weren't going to be involved or attend.
Could it be that people just didn't want to be a part of it?
No, a lot of people wanted to be a part of it.
But they weren't.
No, we had 700 people show up to the event, 700 to 1,000 over the weekend.
That's a success, though? For $85,000 that you spent?
Take a seat, please. Take a seat. We've got
Come on in, man.
Mark, the founder of the Old State Saloon, joining us.
That's the amount Fitzpatrick told the podcast Backlash he spent on the two-day event.
One thing I learned is these are expensive.
Yes.
Because like even just like the police officers are $11,500
Oh.
plus security. We have security that's $7,000. Anyways, it all comes up to $85,000, and I told them we've only raised about $20,000 to $25,000.
This is not about money. If it was about money, I would have charged more than $5 for a beer. This is about doing what we said we were going to do and celebrate traditional family values during this month, when a lot of the country feels like they're expected to celebrate the moral depravity of what Pride tries to do at their events.
Last time we talked to you about this a year ago, you said this wasn't about hate. But yet you had somebody there on site premises, and you spoke on the podcast, somebody who very much promotes hate. How do you respond to that?
How did he promote hate?
I don't know what people.
Well, on that same podcast, host David Riley said this about Boise.
It's a really nice place. It's
For an
beautiful.
American city,
It's top-notch
it is.
American city.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are still very good bars around, great food. There's the Basque District. Again, it's clean. There aren't any black people here.
And tons of Mormons, which
There's
is
a lot of Mormons.
chef's kiss in a city.
Yeah, you heard that. Boise is a clean city because
There aren't any black people here.
Okay.
and that's okay with you.
This I would not have said it. It's not what I would do. He's his own person. So whatever you want to know what he meant by it, if it was meant to be derogatory or a joke or whatever, he has his own show with his own style, and that was all it was. He was not sitting in front of any crowd of people. Nobody heard what he was saying at the event.
Are you okay with it?
Okay with what?
That? With him saying that?
Okay. If I'm going to be not okay with things or apologize for things, I would have to apologize far more for all the wicked Pride people who came into our event and did wicked things.
We don't have that on video, though.
So it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I have witnesses. I do have this stuff on video. I have a man who pretended to be, or maybe he is, I don't know, dishonorably putting on an army uniform, lying and deceiving people to get on stage to say that he's going to do one thing.
What's in your underpants? Elephants taking pride in tranny suicide.
And do an entirely different thing to promote transsexualism.
At church they condemned him and called him a she.
That's absolutely disgusting, wicked behavior. And you're focusing on some guy who whispered a comment into a mic, and you're saying that has something to do with me.
You invited him there.
That's totally
Did you not?
I invited everybody there.
But you know who he is? His whole persona is hate, anti-Semitism, and white nationalism.
Go talk to him about it.
I've tried, but I'm saying you lie down with dogs. That proverb, right? You are who you hang out with.
No, you're not.
Okay, so why?
I'm not him, he's not me. You know me, people know me who get to know me. I'm not racist, okay?
Okay.
All races are equal if Christ is your king.
So you denounce what he said.
I would never say what he said. I don't know what his intent was. I don't know if he has.
You don't believe what he said, though,
Here's
right?
the thing. People have free speech, okay? And if they're gonna make jokes or whatever, it could be derogatory. See, this is the thing is like, I don't believe people should be derogatory with the intent to hurt somebody's feelings with what they say.
Is that close? Fitzpatrick kept saying he wouldn't have said what Dave Riley said, but I gave him many opportunities to denounce it, yet he wouldn't outright condemn it. He did say it was less a race thing and more a liberal thing. This is Fitzpatrick, by the way, when it comes to cities being clean or not. Just for some perspective, if it was the weather keeping people away from the festival, on Friday, it was in the mid-60s. Boise got 1/1000th of an inch of rain, barely enough to register. Saturday, it was 67, and yeah, a little bit breezy. Many summer festivals would pay for those kind of conditions. Fitzpatrick told us today this weekend was a great start, and he learned a lot from it that he hopes to put into planning next year's festival. Yeah, he's planning another one. We did reach out to David Riley also, who, in case you didn't know, was at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia back in 2017. And it was Riley who apparently suggested they carry torches during that thing. And over the years, he has deleted a lot of anti-Semitic posts from social media. Riley told us today he stands by what he said, calling it a joke, but also, quote, "Diversity is a weakness, not a strength. The LGBTQIA plus movement is satanic. Straight white people are welcome and wanted in Idaho," end quote. And here's the thing. We debated a bunch about whether we even cover this story at all today or how we would even do it. Should we give it the attention? Because after all, this is what they want. And we get it. That's what we're doing. We're giving them attention. But in the end, it became about what I once learned from Dr. Charlene Taylor, who, when she was called the N-word in Boise's North End a few years ago, and nobody who heard somebody say that said anything about it to her, well, saying nothing is saying something. And saying Boise is a nice, clean American city because there are no black people here, it's wrong, first of all. But more importantly, it's racist and should not be tolerated. See, it wasn't that difficult.